course, it's still a beautiful day, and I'm excited as always and thankful that you welcome us to your space and are a part of a growing community across different platforms, especially on social media. Just in case you have not yet joined the family, ensure to follow us across social media platform at CEMTV Plus. You can also download the CEMTV mobile app across different platforms, whether you're using an iPhone or using an Android phone. Regardless, we are there for you because we want you to be with us every step of the way, and we want to be with you every step of the way, keeping you company 24/7. Again, I am Francis Oyima Aided, and this is CEMTV's Dissect. Before we progress, hello, Bariswa. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you, Francis. Good morning.
You are pinking this morning.
As it should
Is
be.
there an expectation somewhere?
Oh, no, really. I never used to like pink, but now I guess I'm in love with it. And also, the weather calls for me to wear pink. I feel covered wearing pink. It's been raining, cotton dog, and I can call it a wet Tuesday here in the city of Port Harcourt, River State. So.
Well, you said it yourself that Port Harcourt does not experience spring. And funny enough, this morning, I had to share my umbrella with another road user who could not, because when we got to the last bus stop, we couldn't find a minibus. Every minibus that passed was filled up, so we decided to use our natural means, and I shared the umbrella, and the man was like, last year was not like this in Port Harcourt. So we actually saw August break, as in August break for weeks, and we're like, what is happening this year?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, maybe that is part of the weather changes that we're experiencing across the world. But regardless, it is very interesting that things are not as we oftentimes expect it to be. So you have to be prepared for all the things that might possibly happen. This morning we are joined today by a philosopher and of course a socio-political analyst. He's been here with us before, and he's joining us again to do justice to some critical conversation. Join us and make welcome Mr. David Pius. Welcome to CEMTV News Dissect.
Thank you so much, Francis. So nice to be here again. Thank you, Bariswa.
You're welcome.
Thank you, the whole CMTV family. And nice to be here also.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's get right to the conversation. Before I fire on, how do you feel about the just concluded Osun elections?
That was a classic, it was a classic, as if I could say, because there were so much intrigues.
Okay.
The one that caught my attention most was the national chairman of Accord Party actually coming on the rally a day before an election to say they are all stepping down their support for Adeleke and giving it to the APC guy. Before now, what are your reasons? And of course, I saw resilience when it has to do with the Osun people. They followed their vote. It now made me remember what happened in River State years ago. How that some of us stood against the military might that was meted on the then governor. Of course you are aware that before the result could come out, it took like a donkey months, almost a month, while other people's results were already out. That resilience, that tenacity to making sure that what you voted is what is reflected. I saw it in Osun, and in fact the whole thing was more like a drama, but a good one at that.
Okay, quite an interesting twist, but already the APC is beginning to point fingers on who is to blame and what is to blame. For what transpired in Osun State. We'll wait for it to all come out to the public before we dissect that particular matter. But let's look at a critical issue, because with the go-ahead nod given by INEC in no distant times, ears and environment will be polluted. Eyes will be harassed with bills and posters of politicians seeking re-election, those seeking to go for election for the first time, and all whatnot. And in the midst of this, there's a critical question on ground, and that is the question of political liberty. So As a background, political liberty is the freedom of the individual to participate in the political life of every society the individual finds himself. It gives people the right to vote, run for public office, and express their political views. Emphasis now on without unfair control and fear of punishment from the government or institutions of government, or in the context of Nigeria, strong individuals within the corridors of power. The key issues and the key rights: voting, the right to vote and to be voted for, and the right to vote and pick the leader that the people want; running for office, the right to seek and hold public positions; free speech, the right to share political ideas openly without fear of being attacked or being mobbed or being killed by opposition or by people who do not share your political ideology; assembly, the right to join peaceful protests and groups, and the right to meet freely. Now, that takes me to the very first question I'll be firing. Yesterday, we covered a news where some non-indigents in Rivers State gathered to hold their own meeting, and the youths of the community went and distracted that meeting from happening. Rumors, words has it that the higher-ups in Rivers State ordered for the community boys to ensure that that party particular gathering did not take place because it's of the ADC. And by the way, the party ADC is where the former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, is in as the vice president candidate. So, coming back to the focus, Nigerian youths particularly, and the question of political liberty. First question: do you believe there is political liberty in Nigeria?
Well, for me, I believe there's political liberty, but not to a very large extent, because you see, the minds of the youths have been inundated with what they are not supposed to be inundated with. So they end up not doing the right thing at the right time. Okay, now when I say there's political liberty, if you compare Nigeria with other climes, you find out that there are some places like China, there's some places, some countries that you don't have the much freedom of speech. Let's give it to our country on that, because you see, people just take their tripods, get their phones and ring lights, go on air and spill things that are either correct or not correct, especially during political seasons. Now, a young man was making a post yesterday, and he referenced a video content made by one of these content creators, and was like, the content creator was accusing people for producing fake results of the Osun election. So, and at the end, we found out that what the content creator was actually saying was not right. Okay, now he was referencing the man that, you see what we're talking about, because they are content creators, they have followers, people love them, they go on air to spew rubbish in normal climes. You don't just come out without facts because you have the levity of having Android phones or iPhones or ring lights to make statements that are not verified, and you're putting it on air and people are listening. And the mind of humans are structured in such a way that the information they gather is what builds their thinking. It is what builds their line of thoughts. If you hear every morning somebody talks down on you every morning of your life, you end up being intimidated, because that's what you hear. Your subconscious mind has that it absorbs it, and the subconscious mind controls the conscious mind, and when it collects those information, it keeps it and it later replays, and you find out that you now become intimidated. That's what we're talking about. So in Nigeria, we have so much freedom. We speak a lot. It's only in some few states that I know that of recent the governors have been clamping down on some of them social media or media guys that speak freely without fact. Okay, now as it has to do with gathering, you see, every society must be, fashioned by rules and regulations.
Very
If
correct.
not, we'll be running a kind of a system whereby, I've forgotten how Thomas Hobbes called it. One of the great philosophers was talking about a society that does not have rules. Everybody does
Chaotic society.
very chaotic, and that's very bad. Now, if there are rules in the local government, just like you just said now a few minutes ago, you said we'll be how did you put it? You put it in such a
2027, we're going to be seeing pictures.
yeah, there's a word he used. I wanted to use the exact word
Okay.
he used.
That would be harassed.
Yeah, harassed or punished.
Yeah.
Right now, do you know, because of that, some local governments, some states of the federation have come up with, prerequisites for you to, paste posters, banners, and all them things. Now, someone might come and use that and said, because of the monies allotted for that means these people are, gagging us not to speak. But no, the reason why they do that, most times, maybe sometimes exorbitant, you may say, but the reason why they do that is to curb. Yes, we must get information about who we are voting for, and who, but it should be done in a more coordinated way. We shouldn't be looking at our flyovers that have been painted now, being plastered upon with posters of different. In fact, sometimes they put one here and put one on top, and you will feel, what the hell is wrong with these people? So there must be those laws. So I say this to say this, that those people that gathered, we don't know whether there are laws in that local government that before you have such gathering, especially in this sensitive period, please seek permission. Now, let it be that they sought permission, or they wrote to the police and all that, and they got approval, and you refuse them from holding such meetings.
So wanted the wise and responsible to get the security personnel to actually verify that, take them off than harassing them.
No, of course.
Because this is Nigeria.
Yes, of course. It belongs to every one of us, both the ADCs, the PDPs of this. Tomorrow, the ADCs might actually end up being the PDPs. And also it's like that.
Security personnel, if those people didn't take charge, it would have been bloodbath in some kind of way.
I understand.
So I feel things like that, it should get maybe the local government chairman or the paramount ruler of that clan or something.
Yeah.
Should get police personnel involved. Sort it out amicably. Who are you? Why are you here?
What's
Who
the
did you seek
reason
permission
for your gathering?
Okay, what's the reason for your gathering? Than to just come up harassing people. If those people weren't matured enough, it would have been bloodbath.
Yeah, of course, I do not have a full background of this story.
Okay.
So I'll be speaking from a point of not having full knowledge. So
Okay.
my thoughts will be limited. But for me, I opine with what you said that, of course, when you want to, implement laws and other, you of course need to call the law enforcement agents. Of course, the local government chairman is the chief security officer of his local government.
True.
Now, the councillor, though he's a legislative representative, is also the chief security officer of his ward, because everybody calls him.
Correct.
You understand me? So if such happens, I implore that they get the security agencies involved for them to settle this amicably, because River State, I know people listen to us and feel that we are volatile, and when it comes to security, in fact, I have been to Lagos and some people were saying that you're from Port Harcourt. I say yes. They say, that place where they shoot.
You can imagine that.
So that's the way they see us. So to demystify that, part of us, let security agencies seek permission. If you want to block the road, seek permission. There are ways to do these things so that we will all have a better society, even when we're in a political season like this.
Okay, so it's critical for us to peacefully coexist together,
Sure.
regardless of political difference. And I think that is the biggest problem. While you were narrating the posters and the changes, my mind quickly ran to a comedy that Clean the Drunk made some time ago.
Okay.
You wake up, APC had pasted, you come back, PDP, before you return, ADC, and then we come back, the church have pasted. So when rain now comes, you now see APC, PDA, and
And that's the coalition, you may say.
so So Glenn the Draw was prophesying about the coalition in Rivers State. Okay, that's an interesting twist. But let's look at the mindset, because at the end of the day, it comes back to the mindset.
True.
Do you think the Nigerian youth in particular are liberated enough to know that mutual respect is a must-have, regardless of your political affiliations, regardless of your line of thoughts, regardless of your belief system? Because most of those things, even if the corrupt politician calls you as a youth and say, look, there is this thing happening in this place, go and cause trouble. If you are able to think for yourself, there are certain questions you ask yourself before waking up to go for men trouble.
True.
For one, if I go to this place and something dangerous happened to me, who takes responsibility for it? What I'm going to do, is it within the ambits of the law? What if the security operative come and I'm arrested? Who will come rescue me? You know, there are certain questions that you will ask yourself before taking an action. So let's talk about the mindset. What's your perception of, let me not generalize it to Nigerian youths, but those who are being used as tools by politicians? What's your perception of their mindset?
Now, I would feel we should even make it a bit generalized. But my reason is because, like I say, these people, these in quotes, the ones that are being used by the politicians are also part of the Nigerian youth.
They are.
Now, you see, the mind of a man is his greatest weapon. That's the greatest weapon of a man. And you see, the Nigerian youth, my heart bleeds anytime I talk about the Nigerian youth, because you see, we have been majoring on the minor, and that is the reason why we don't have youths that have focus. They don't have vision. Like you said, if I want to elect someone, or election process is not just the voting. There are processes involved, from the registration of voters registration, which I will start from there. Most Nigerian youths just go and complain. They are on the pages of Facebook and Instagram complaining about the ills of society, but they have not taken responsibility. I did my first registration as a voter in 2003. They've not taken responsibility. My father told me then, you are not going to vote. They always shoot and do that.
Not safe.
I said, I've heard you, sir, but I went and registered. Now, because you see, the mind over the years have been telling us that this thing is not possible because it's violent, political. This thing is violent. Politics is a dirty game. So you see, over the years, the minds of the youth have been so inundated with that information. So they're careless of what we are talking about. They do not see the process of bringing leadership through political processes as anything to go by. So the politicians and those in the realms of power now capitalizes on that deficiency. They know that these guys don't think. I'm telling you, youths of Nigeria, most of them do not think. Because you see, when you think, you will now understand that I have to take this decision even though my leader has said this. What is the best thing for me and my children in the next 20 years? But they don't participate. They believe in immediate wealth. So they either say, okay, I should do this to make, in fact, I don't like talking about Nigerian youth. I'm telling you, it pains me. It makes my mind bleed.
Draw your attention. There used to be a time when a certain governor do have town hall meeting.
True.
Both for youth, adult, and everyone, and they come together, talk about the way forward.
Yeah.
Also, go ahead in getting projects that involve the youth of the society.
Yeah.
The greater percentage of the youth are people that turn to be the godfathers tomorrow, the elders, the kings, and the rest of it. But if society or Nigerian citizens, the fathers, the mothers, the elders don't come together and put the right thing in perspective, we won't get it right. I feel that sensitizing the youth, it's never a waste
Of course.
of money. Be it from the local government council, because now you are enlightened, you're educated. Some are enlightened, educated, But most majority of the youth that cause this embarrassment, this nuisance, this thuggery when it comes to political session are people in the local community.
True.
And then politicians take them as a prey, fetch them, use them, dump them. How then do we sensitize these people and the local community?
I feel that my father used to say something, my late father, he said, you don't learn left hand in old age. Also, I also remember when I'll be having maybe some disagreement with my father, and my mother will say, my son, come. You see, your father is over 60 as a den. He has learned some things over the years. It's not very easy for him to change like that. So please give him time. And you know he's your father. Now, it's if you cascade that to what we're talking about, you find out that how do you change the mind of a child that was born and, you know, the father and the mother didn't take care of them, and they were at the flyovers of this world hustling. From there, they join one cult or the other.
Just to survive.
Just to survive, you know, and they end up seeing society as even a weapon against them. They feel everybody hates them. They feel the only way to survive is violence. Now, it has happened over the years. It would take more years to reorientate such minds, because they see, or how do you tell a girl? I just watched something a few minutes ago with Daddy Freeze made a video where a 13-year-old girl went to buy posting on 2.
Excuse you?
Yes, and in fact the mother went to fight the chemist man that sold the posting on 2 to the 13.
That's a minor.
A minor, 13-year-old. So, you know, the man now said, Daddy Freeze now said that he didn't blame the chemist guy so much. He blamed the mother for a failed parenthood, because the thing starts from the family. You do not train these children well. You throw away them. You tell them to go and hustle. They now see society as where you must steal or do something to survive. Now, the politician will in every climb, they will always capitalize in your deficiency.
But before you continue, hold on that thought. We're going to continue this conversation. That if he's saying that he do not blame the chemist personnel, rather he blames the mother.
He blames the mother more.
Because a society raise a child, not just parent. I don't know.
That was in our time, oh. That was in our time.
That was the millennial. Not now.
Not now. Society does not raise children again, oh.
No.
Make it make sense, because once you get to that place, you mentioned that they will slap the living
That's right.
to your mother.
Why you could say this with confidence is because normally those days in I don't know, those watching, there is a place called Dube. I was bred in Dube. The parents of your parents are not just your father and mother. Everybody, you know, gives you some level of discipline, you know, when you go out. But this time, if you go and discipline another person's child, even the parents will tell you that, who sent you? So, you see, that's why the chemist man will only sell just because he wants the money.
No, this is so wrong.
It's wrong, but when the abnormal has become normal, that is when we see such things. So, the parents also, of course, I remember when they will be sending us to go and buy cigarettes. Yes, they send us. So, we hide to go and buy cigarettes for the senior men, you know, because we saw it as bad. But now, send a 20 or 15-year-old child, they will go and even buy what they call kana, without any remorse. Is how the society. So you see, we're saying this to say this, that you know the society has been bastardized with so much, you know, delinquencies, and you know, and it also has to do with even the political scene. So it will take 13-year-old girl go. That the face made that post.
What is that peeling in her body? What's going on? To the extent she want to take contraceptive?
You know, when they said that, I just turned.
Oh my God!
When they just said that, as I finished watching, I just turned to my 15-year-old daughter. I said, so Sophia can go and buy. No, nah.
How?
You know, it just rang on my, and I was like, no, it's not possible.
Oh my God! Sorry,
I think Marisol is in a different planet.
It's a different world. She doesn't know what's happening now.
Because I mean,
Jesus Christ,
Nigeria and the issue of parental or guardian upbringing had been bastardized a long time ago. That is why a parent can leave his house and go to school to kill a teacher or beat up a teacher
for
correcting.
Come on, you don't do that then.
But in those days, your parents will carry gift. My mom will carry gift and go and give my teacher for disciplining me.
Say thank you.
And say thank you. It's not the same thing. I know that I started out as a teacher. And if not that it was a Catholic school for starters, there are certain things that parents did, and you stand back and look. I mean, I started with the nursery schools, the nursery and primary school. As a primary 6, my first horrible experience was a group of about 8 girls writing me a love letter.
Wow.
In primary 6. So you can imagine.
I don't want to imagine.
You don't want to imagine it.
A girl in primary 6 looking at you, her teacher,
man,
and then writing you a love letter.
Oh my God.
My brother, this also rings a memory. Let me tell you. I went to see my children. They're in boarding house.
Yeah.
You know, I went to their school, normal visiting days, to go and see them. That day, my wife almost wanted to pounce on someone, because when I went there, I finished. My wife didn't come, so I went with one of the parents, who was my wife's friend. So we went there, gave the children normal, fraternized with them. When we were about leaving, my daughter now came and said, this senior, at least that one was senior, in SS2 or so, say he's having a crush on you. So when my wife heard that at home, he said, my wife said,
let's come back.
He said she come back.
Looking like, no,
I don't want to mention the school, because
like
the student was telling my daughter that he has a crush on the father. So the girl came back home and said, and the mother said, the next visiting day, she's the one that will go for the visit. Then let her see the person that was having crush on her husband. Now it shows you the decadence. See, it might be funny.
It's not funny.
But it shows you the level of decadence, moral decadence, in every ramification, even in our approach to political affairs, like what we're discussing now. People now see things from the wrong perspective, and those abnormal. In fact, like I said, any society where abnormal has become normal is bound to fail. I say that again. Every society, or any society that abnormal has become normal, is bound to fail. And that's what we're seeing. And that's why we're seeing all these things happening. So it takes time for us to reorientate the minds of these people. Like I speak to you, there are people just waiting to be used as tools during this next political season. In fact, they are looking forward to January. They're looking forward to it, because they know that, that's my business time. Just like when you have, this time I have to be at work. That's their business. They think, by this time APC will meet me. In fact, they are not even concerned about who becomes
which of the party.
APC will meet them, give them. PDP will meet them, give them. ADC. So they
stomach infrastructure.
So when they get all these, they now say, we'll collect. They call it security fee. Security fee.
Securing what?
Yeah, I'm telling you what happens in the political. Anybody that listens to me that knows politics will tell you that they tell you security fee. You not go vote here, you not go pay out security fee. They call the leaders find, those are the kind of things. So these minds are not the kind of mind that is looking at, I want to elect so person as House of Reps member. What is his policy? What are the things I stand to achieve in the next 10 years, in the next 4 years, in the next 8 years? They don't think that.
This same people with this mindset, we then grow up to be leaders of tomorrow.
So when they say these leaders of tomorrow, sorry, my dear sister, what's his name? Chief Alfred Dettes Spieth, who was the first military governor of Rivers State, was a governor at the age of 25.
That's the first leader of tomorrow I've ever heard about.
And only. some of us, like I'm in my 40s.
Yeah.
And I checked the constitution, and the constitution told us that the age limit for you to become a governor, president, senator, and all that. And I found out that I can be a president of Nigeria.
Of course you can.
Now, have I been given the opportunity to even
They
become?
even serve as a leader.
They still perpetually keep themselves there, and the youths are not waking up. And when few, or if in the decimal part of us are clamoring that youth should wake up, it seems as if we want to take over from these people without, due process. These people have been there perpetually in power. How will you say that someone that has been, people like, sorry to call a name, somebody like one of the leaders in Lagos, the PDP leaders in Bola, what's his name? Forgotten his name now, that always comes on air to cause ripples in the system. You've been there perpetually. Why don't you leave? Give this thing to people that are in their 40s, in their 30s, to start doing the same thing you were doing when you were in your 40s and 30s.
Are those in their 30s and their 40s ready? Because we keep asking this question. They're not too young to run bill has been passed.
Yeah.
But the Nigerian youths are not showing the signs that we are ready to take leadership. And I'll draw your attention to the present movement, the City Boys movement.
True.
In other countries, we are seeing 30-year-old, we are seeing 35-year-old, we are seeing 40-year-old presidents, and they are doing wonders.
True.
Because these are brains that are in tune with what is happening today.
True.
And in Senate climes or in the West, where you still have 60s and 70-year-olds running, they run because there is an established system that thrives on meritocracy, that people who know their onions are saddled with responsibility. So it is easier for the elderly people to still be in power and be able to get the job done. But that is not the same system working out in Nigeria. The question is, can we as Nigerian youth rise to take on our responsibility when we are so comfortable with the peanuts and the crumbs that falls off from the table of the elders?
We can rise, but we can only rise when we have come to realization. Let me say this. Karl Marx, a great philosopher, said something when he was talking about historical materialization. Those Marxists will understand what I'm talking about. Every thesis is as a result of an antithesis fighting against that present thesis to give you a new synthesis. Let me explain what I mean. There must always be a antithesis, that is an opposition to the present system, to bring about a new system. That's the whole grammar I spoke. That's what it means. Now, we must, as youth, rise up. Rise up. You see, these things, like this man always say, Chief Barrister Nyesom 1 week always say, that power is not given, it is taken. Leaders of today, the youth, must, as a matter of necessity, rise up. Take the bull by the horn. Take over power. But, the funny thing, like you said, are we ready? They are not ready. 90% of the youths are oblaring. I don't know whether you know the word oble. They are oble. They just feel they want to go to clubs, have stack of words, so that they can be spraying. Then the ladies will do the aftermath of the spraying. That's what they drink. In fact, do you know the ladies these days even smoke more than the men? No, I'm not joking.
And the men empower them.
They
love it.
I see they smoke as in hard drugs more than the men. They smoke as in you'll be watching a woman is just like an exhaust pipe expelling air or smoke from their mouth, all the buccal cavity, from their nasal cavity, they just expel it, and you'll be wondering, is this not a woman that will end up being a mother of someone one day? Is this what they just their minds are encapsulated with these things. Their minds are not encapsulated with what is the benefit of how do I engage in political. This it's not everybody that should be a politician, of course, but the processes of producing leaders, it should be everybody's responsibility, because it is said that we the people bring these people to power. So everybody must be responsible in your small cocoon, your little ward and unit. You should be responsible to bring in those people that will be your councillors, to bring in those people that will be your House of Assembly, House of Reps. It is from that small place. So we are not ready to answer your question. We are not ready. When we are ready, it is when that antithesis, that is when we have taken that pain enough, we will now fight against this present system to bring about that new system, which is a new thesis that will come out.
I don't think some Nigerians youth are ready to fight it all out and bring out this new Nigeria we're clamoring for.
Yeah.
Because if you go to House of Rep, the Senate Committee, you've seen some good numbers of young men doing great, representing their constituency. But after they leave power, do they even create the path to bring other young men like them? They don't.
They don't. No, they don't.
So that's another problem, including the politicians, both in powers and those that are no longer in power. That is what we have in our political system this day. If a youth is good, he doesn't have any political power, but he's doing this in a society. He's supporting, he has a program, he also have a tech, and he's just all in one, and is good enough to lead his people. You see, when someone that has been in power decides to go off, power is taken from that person won't want to push for this other young person to come.
So that will not be like him.
From the youth, including people in power, they are not ready. All they do, they send their children to law school, send their children to take over them. For how long? And their children continue the same corrupt practice.
So that's the bane in Nigeria. That's the bane. Like you said, I've seen 3 or 4 guys I admire so much. The likes of, even though we are not in the same party, the likes of this man's son, El Rufai's son, very outspoken. I don't know whether you've heard that guy. He's in House of Reps, very outspoken. There's another man from Cross River State. He's in the Senate, Ekpenyong. That guy, as I speak to you, is in his 30s. Is in his 30s, very outspoken also. Now, the challenge they have is that these people, when they, there's this man's nature, especially in this African side, when they have become what they have become, they don't want the other person to come.
Should it be so?
So that it doesn't become, and that's why I love the Igbo what they call apprenticeship, because the Igbo apprenticeship, yes, is not trying to. You can be better than your boss. You come,
but you're still loyal.
The loyalty is there.
But in the political sphere, most of the times when these guys become whatever they become, and maybe learn from the books and come over, let me say, become the same House of Reps member that their boss or bosses have become, there's this egoistic, braggadocious behavior they start exhibiting, and that is why the bosses tend not to allow them. It is 2 ways. Now you become House of Rep. I was a House of Rep for you. Exactly. Now you became House of Rep. Now you now become braggadocious. Now you are not giving me my accolade and my flowers as someone that has been there before you. So the man there will not want that person to come and become. Then the one that is already there, the young man, that is already there, doesn't want to be loyal. Because see, if you're loyal, is a give and take, garbage in, garbage out. If you're loyal, check any antecedent of any politician, any that has been loyal to a system or the person, even when he becomes that thing that his leader has become, you will see that those following him will follow with that antecedent. But the moment you reach there, because you've seen some millions and some billions, in your account, you now say, that person you now see the same house, the house your boss have built, you have built something bigger, so you now say, when he comes, say, Oga, sit down. And that is what has been plaguing the political sphere. We made a little comparison with the one boy system. It doesn't have happened there. It does, but very infinitesimal.
Just a few arrogant ones.
Yes, those that maybe their brain, some nuts were losing. But I can see Ikoku here. You see them, they will learn meticulously. And they even have shops. Sometimes they even still promote the shops.
From their bosses. Fine men.
You understand? And these guys, you don't even know they are billionaires and millionaires. They might even be richer than their boss, but let the boss do something, have a program. You will see all of them will stand out. And that's what I feel Nigerian youth should replicate. And these are the reasons why we should have researches. My brother, you know, researches in schools, sorry, I have to divert to this. Researches in schools should not be based on vague topics and ChatGPT.
Oh no, let's not go.
They just go
conversation.
Do copy and paste, and you know, researches should be based on present day reality. That's how China grew. So what am I saying? We have seen this as a problem. So how somebody from maybe the sociology department, while doing a project, can do a project in comparing the political, you know, successions and how do you call it, mentorship. Compare it with the Igbo boy apprenticeship mentorship program. Now synergize it and bring out a solution. Now that can now be cascaded. The people doing the national orientation agencies, the local government, they can now adopt that system. What will make somebody that becomes a millionaire as a salesman, you know, he sells parts, is still not being a braggart as compared to his boss?
Yeah.
Why is it that a politician will just get little cash and he becomes a god and even wants to be disloyal? Is it that there's absolute power that is intoxicating? You know, those things are the reason for research.
Absolute power intoxicates.
It does, and it intoxicates absolutely.
To
you know,
on what you're saying, I think this one boy apprenticeship is what Nigerians really need.
Adopt. Let's study and adopt it and cascade it to every facet, and you see that will grow.
You see these Igbos, like an Igbo man, even when he's not educated, he knows how to count his money.
You know,
even when he's not educated,
he can do checks and balances
than you that is educated. Now, how many of our youth, let's bring it down home, how many of our youths ready to learn a skill, work with it, and see it materialize into something that brings money, affluence, and all of this, aside from the Igbos? So when you say Igbo, all of them, will go there, make money, it just misinterprets them. But these people, their founding forefathers, they knew what was going to work. They had to put all of this in places.
True.
But the Nigerian youth, I don't want to call a particular tribe, just like you say, oblate, stack of money. Really they happen. I'm the Oga to the Oga, PA to the PA, associate to the associate of PA boys organization in River State. How do we leave this place?
No, it's a matter of orientation, like you said. If you watch these youths are stratified to different regions. You know, if you see what's happening in the northern region, you see that they are also consciously bequeathing what the elders are doing to the youth. Let me tell you, you see them, you know, they sell these what they call it, groundnut and all them things. You see them, they have this system of they work in your river states, in your Akwa Ibom, in your areas. They will make the money, and you see them during some time, let me say during farming season, you see them, they all run, they go, they do their farming. As they are leaving, they keep somebody, you know, that is maybe a new bee, and that one will be learning that or doing that thing they are doing. They have gone to do farming. They come back. You see, over the years, in fact, the street where my office is, the boy guarding that street now is the father that was doing that. He just went for farming, and he will come back. You know, this bequeath thing. So it is working. This system is working indirectly or partially in the northern area, but the places is not working. Is the southwest, and of course the worst scenario, the south. We are not getting what the bequeathing of this knowledge, whether political knowledge, whether business knowledge, whether anything. We just believe that in this climb, that if I have become this thing, let my boy not come and become that thing, because if he comes, he will want to ride over.
It's more like a father saying the child shouldn't be greater than myself.
But that's what's happening.
But that is so wrong.
That's what's happening. They always don't want the person, the mentees, to come and be more than them. They don't want it.
So the Igbos have a system.
Yeah.
And the West, they also have a system.
True.
And there was a point, I think, during this present administration that we're trying to adopt some of the things working, you know, within Nigeria to use. You highlighted Ekpeyong. I've followed, Senator Ekpeyong very closely.
Okay.
And if you look at the crops of, and as much as we want to be, objective, there are men that I respect, regardless of, what political flaws or blunders that they have made.
True.
One of such is the Senate President.
True.
I'm not in his party. I'm not a politician. But when you look at what he has been consistent with, building people
God bless you.
that he trusts have the capacity, you will give it to him.
True.
If you look at the crop of young representatives, even from Akwa Ibom, recently Barrister Patrick Moore made headlines, and there was this comparison between Barrister Patrick Moore and representative member Uche Clement Jumbo.
Yeah.
And what was the comparison? Uche Jumbo did constituency empowerment program and was giving his constituency or his constituents wheelbarrows and machetes.
I don't want to bust out.
No, you have to. Because we're also going to that conversation.
Yeah.
Political representation. How effective is it? Who is
Wheelbarrow.
responsible?
Wheelbarrow. And he's a young, in fact, his cliche is, sorry to cut you, his cliche is youth slot.
He's a youth slot.
And he's a young guy.
He's a youth slot. And to clarify, Clement Jumbo canvassed for funds on the social media.
Yes, I remember.
He
For his
asked
election.
for funds for his elections on the social media because he didn't have the money and people donated. But fast forward to his time, he has not delivered. So Clement Jumbo had his empowerment program, and machetes and wheelbarrows were all he could give to his people.
What is going on?
Hold on. And in the same constituency, around the same constituency, another first timer had an empowerment program. I wish I had those videos. And you see cars, you see, sewing machines, you see minibuses, you see these open vans that people use in transporting, maybe
products,
sachet waters and all
yeah.
of that. And these, if you look at the items that have been given, you're looking at a man who is intentional. What are the Anang's people into?
Farming.
So the vehicles that have been given, majority of it can be used to transport palm fruit from their farm to the point of production, or palm oil from the place of production to place of storage to be given for onward. So it's been a strategic plan, delivering for the people. And the question now comes in cases like this is the first time, and so we won't even have the argument of yes. So we won't even have the argument of saying, "Oh, this one has been to the house before."
The greenhouse.
These are both fresh timers, and one is performing, the other
He's
is
still performing.
woefully.
He's still performing wheelbarrow.
How do you juxtapose the two performers from two representative of the people?
Unfortunately, or will I say unfortunately, Patrick is way older than what's his name, Jimo, right? Jimo is a young guy. Jimo should be in his 30s or 40s.
The same age bracket.
Okay, they are almost the same age bracket.
Barrister Patrick is just around 40 or thereabouts.
Okay, now true. Right now, imagine these two guys, two youths. I think they say youth. When does youth end? First of all, let me know, because sometimes I get confused.
For some it's 43, for some 45.
No, please don't put it like that,
No,
because
don't say that.
if you do that now, you are removing me from youth. And I want to be. I'm a youth till further notice.
Where someone is saying he's 60, say he's still a youth.
For instance, my boss, my boss that is almost 60, will tell you he's a youth. In fact,
He's a youth at heart.
He does things more youthful than even myself. Now this is a situation, a classic situation we need to study. You see, Jimo, yes, we are calling his name, of course, he calls a rep member, and the other guy, Jimo has been, you've not seen him on social media. On social media, he bashes people like, and I believe he's not, normally all the House of Rep senators, they always use
you think there's a media aid?
But this one, he will type, he will bash you, he will cost you when the time comes for cursing, he will lambast you when it comes for that. Now, but this guy, like he said, thrived on this youth cliche thing, and he's not even performing. Is in fact, for me, it should be the worst performing.
He's underperforming.
Okay, well, somebody has beat him in River State here. What's his name? Manuchim. He has beat him with commissioning of toilets. At least the guy. No, if you can commission one toilet.
There's money on that also commission toilet project.
Okay, well, no, that one is even house of assembly. You are talking of reps members.
Oh,
so these
God.
I've seen people
with
all the monies and constituency projects that comes to them. Now,
wow.
This is a case of youths that were poorly brought up in the system, but will I say thrived on the cliche of youths are the leaders of tomorrow. So it's best to show our preparedness. Yes, we want to rule. Yes, we want to be in the position of authority, but the preparation needs to be done, and the preparation cannot be done in one day, not in 4 years. It's something that will be over, just like what he's saying. Now let me tell you that I without mincing words, if Mr. Edet Francis goes to the House of Reps, do you know why he will perform very well?
Tell me.
Now, he has been a teacher, right? He said it here, and if you see his delivery, you know that somebody that has been through different processes of life. It's just like when you're processing products. Now, this thing I'm doing today is not as a result of I just stood up one morning and said, oh, I want to start talking. It was as a result of process. Like he said it, I could relate to him because I was the vice principal of New Covenant Group of Schools.
Okay.
So I could understand what it means to be a teacher,
okay,
and grow through the ranks. And you could do many things. Why? Because you have been schooled. These people, some of them have not been schooled. For instance, that area, they just become what they become as a result of the deficiency of people. The good ones are not coming out. They are telling you the system is flawed. Then the one that even came out and said, I want to capitalize on the fact that you have not produced a youth and I want to be a youth. Okay, that's him. That's Patrick Umo. I want to be a youth. He's a young man. If from his face you can even know that he's a young man, and he does. Yeah, he's a young man, and look at it.
You can imagine.
Look at it. Look at it.
This is brilliant.
Now look at those tricycle. Like he said, the people of Anang are more of farmers. In fact, there's a community called Abak. Why do they call them Abak? Because that's palm front they bring. That's what symbolizes them. They produce oil, this palm oil, and these things can bring things from farms. You see, this is someone, like he said, this is someone that has a concept. Ambulances, because of course those places do not have ambulances, and he has produced. Yes, the governor might have built a hospital. Now you need. You see, these are things I'm talking about. These people are very the concept of this man very well coordinated as against people like Jimo. You see, so it's a matter of this man was prepared. If you leave this man's antecedents, you now find out that this man has been prepared over the years, even though he's a youth. Then what the other man may have capitalized
on the opportunity,
just like some of the people that capitalized on the Labour Party OB stuff and went in there, and where are they today?
They are laboring.
There's one that was a Okada man that won Labour Party election. Now that man decamped to APC. Were you aware?
Yes, he did.
And he has not done anything. In fact, he knows he's a one-timer. He knows that because he has not done anything. He has not done anything. So you imagine people capitalize on those things.
His first comment when he was literally crying. He never would have in his entire life imagined that he will become a House of Reps.
And he capitalized on that, and he's not doing anything today.
But these are the issues. I feel if you're able to put someone in power, collective vote, and this person has not delivered, there's no need for second term.
We should even recall the person before every second term.
Step down. Now, before I vote for you, let me see things you've done. What have you done for Nigerian youth? What have you done for the citizens? How have we benefited? If all of these are not put in place, you're not going again.
Of course.
We should have a system that, that actually push this out. If we don't, the money is there. Taxpayers' money. What are you doing?
Okay. So just to add to that, aside from the performance and delivery, I like to attach this. Mentorship. It is lacking across board. And political mentorship are things that the younger generation need. I'm not talking about carrying a bag for Oga Madam or Oga children and walking around and calling it political. I'm talking about being mentored. Because if you look at, you talked about antecedent. If you trace Barrister Patrick, for instance, he started out after law school from the Gospel Akpabio's chambers.
Okay.
He started out from Gospel Akpabio's chambers. And from Akpabio's chambers, he became the secretary to his local government.
True.
And from the secretary to his local government, he contested for the House of Reps seat. So you can follow through a man that has been mentored through the process and is given opportunity. And now, at the National Assembly, he is still riding on that mentorship, because whether or not we like it, who you know in Nigerian politics matters.
In everywhere, not even Nigeria, in everywhere.
So it matters. So based on that mentorship, still, he has been given responsibility. If you look at the different portfolios he's handling on the floor of the National Assembly, it shows that this man has delivered.
True.
And because he has delivered, more assignment and more responsibilities are being added. And he keeps delivering. So tell me, how do we conscientize Nigerian youth, those of us who are into politics, to know that political mentorship is not you being used to snatch ballot boxes. It's not about you being used to cause trouble. It's about you being taught how politics is played.
True, you're correct. You know, this thing you said made me remember something a leader once said in the political sphere. He said, then in Bayelsa, they called the man. They said, you want to come out for... He was just following his boss around. So they asked him, wait, have you gone to school? He said, no. Do you have any paper? He said, no. The man now said, so if we say we need someone to man a board, do you think we can call you? We can't call you. Now, if you've not gone to school, you've not done anything, and I see somebody that has a PhD in that particular field, do you think in your wildest imagination, just because you are loyal to me, I will leave that person
for you?
So, youths must get knowledge. Prepare. In fact, let me say this. When preparation meets opportunity, that's when a blessing comes. You say, okay, I want to get this. Prepare, so that when the opportunity comes. So we are lacking, there's a lacuna between the preparation and the opportunity. So most of the times, what gives us this defect, like the GMO defect we're having, is opportunity just come, we capitalize on that. It's not going to give us a good blessing.
You're not prepared.
Now, but when there's preparedness and it jams or coincides with opportunity, you see. My brother, there are people, I will tell you, that have consciously developed an attitude of learning, because it takes someone with a mind of learning to be mentored.
True.
So, but those that are not, they are looking at their immediate gain. What I will gain today and obey tomorrow. They will never. In fact, the mentor, sometimes these leaders, I give it to them, like the ones that I'm privy to be with, you know, because I'm one person that I believe in this life, that if you are to help me, if God is going to use you to help me, he will use you. If he doesn't, he's not going to use you.
How much
So let's just, I don't play you eye service.
I hear you.
You know, so sometimes they want to help. My leader, I don't want to call. In fact, I know I'm on a national television. Sometimes he will tell you that I want to help this person, but they don't. Even to go to school, normal.
You're not prepared.
Primary, secondary school, WAEC. Okay, you have gone. You even got to university. You cannot even speak simple and correct English. You cannot even write a paragraph without using SUP for SOP.
What is SOP?
That is what's up. What you're trying. So you see.
See, I can't even because I can't even relate to the Gen Z. Like, make a sentence. I'm seeing like abbreviation. Like, what is going on?
LOL. And you use it for, and these are official things, and you can use it for your chatting. You know, but you use it. You know, and you now ask the person, you expect this person now to understand you and take you maybe to something. Maybe he has an opportunity to put you, to mentor you, and maybe for you to get into a committee, or one of them boards, you know, maybe he's a House of Rep member now, he wants to put you somewhere, then he will call you, you cannot even speak English, he say, make una no verse, so you stutter, you cannot be a whole, so the person will leave you. So the brain now, or will I say the major part is the youth, prepare yourself. When you prepare yourself, look for a mentor. Don't seek for immediate gain. I've said it. 1, prepare yourself. 2, look for a mentor. 3, don't look for immediate gain, because you see, one of the things I've discovered is that most mentors do not like those that are looking for immediate gain. They're looking for those that have vision. What do I want to be in the next? Okay, for instance, if I follow my boss now, for instance, is coming House of Rep and fortunately he wins, what do I intend to achieve as his media person? Oh, I want to go there and maybe snap pictures, you know, take pictures.
You've arrived.
I've arrived. Then I'm in National Assembly. I'll tell them National Assembly on my mind. Maybe do a selfie.
Clock it.
No, that's not what I'm going there to do. I am going there to, even if you even give me peanuts, I do not mind. Because I am looking at something.
I'm leveraging on your contacts.
Thank you. And that is, if you have that perspective, you can be easily mentored. But if you're looking at went to Abuja, Oble, I say Abuja, you know, this place, you have heard all the cool joints, and that is what is, you know,
in your mind.
And also on the top of it, your stomach get bigger than that of
it
your
must.
boss.
Yes, we'll have to get them with 4 phones. You must get some 4 phones.
Of 6, 3 years. You now have the PA to the PA,
and you know you be a fresh boy.
Do you understand?
You know, so those are the things. If those things are on your mind, even the mentor will look at you as someone that is not serious. But when he sees you, even in the nothing, he sees you still tenacious. Sometimes they test you. Mentors do test people.
Of course.
Sometimes they tell you sometimes they don't even tell you. I have a boss that he will throw. He wants to know that you're clean in my environmental sanitation. He will just drop something there.
That.
He will not, even on the road, he will drop cellophane on the road to test whether his sweepers came to sweep, and you, the supervisor, whether you supervised or you saw that cellophane. I'm not telling you story. I'm telling you what he does till today. He goes round. He can even drop a sachet of these wraps. You drop it in the office. Then you come, you pass. You come, you pass. He will just be watching you. He has taken notice of you. So mentors also test. So youth should be conscious that our mentors will test us, because for you to have a good gold, it must pass through fire.
True.
You don't just have gold like that. No, you must. You see, if I give you 100,000 naira right now, like I dash you, my brother, even though you're a family man, the first thing you think, there's this, let me look for one cool amala joint. If you love amala, or where they cook.
Unfortunately, that's not where my mind goes.
No, I'm saying normal. You know, let me say those not people like you that have been so schooled. You understand, and trained. So say, let me eat first. Then I will now see what I can think.
Do the rest.
But if your mind is already programmed, you know, in such a way that anything I get is for a particular, as soon as it comes, you will know what to do.
True.
But when you don't know what to do, you first this like they will say man live once and die go, or some those cliches. Let me eat the one why it's now carry go.
And by the time you spend 80,000,
you don't remember.
I open with a 20K. You now build mountain.
You see, so when you are not prepared, these things are bound to happen. So as I say it again, for the youths that are listening to me, 1, be prepared. That's the paramount thing. 2, seek for a mentor. And 3, do not look for an immediate gain. Don't look for immediate gain. Because you have a future. You have a projection. And when that happens, and that preparedness meets opportunity, it will give you that blessing. It will give us the new Nigeria we're looking for.
Okay, so briefly before we close on a conversation, interest groups. We've had several interest groups in Nigeria, and we'll still have them as we progress. How can interest group mobilize? Because when we talk about awareness, when we talk about mind shift, when we talk about reorientation, it requires a lot of work. And truth be told, the politicians are not going to come and do awareness campaign that would reorientate the minds
They
of
won't.
Nigerians.
We want them to lose their
How can interest groups, civil society organizations help Nigeria break away? Because it's not just about talking about revolution. It's about making Nigerians understand what revolution is, what kind of revolution we need, and how we can go about it in a way that we do not have violence, we do not have bloodshed. We follow it legitimately to a point where we have the kind of leaders that will be able to build the Nigeria that we do. Because I still believe in Nigeria. I believe we can build a Nigeria where all of us can aspire and become whatever we want to be.
True. For me, you see, interest groups and pressure groups, NGOs and all that can do a lot of work. In fact, the onus is on them to do that. You see, like I said, our minds have been polluted over the years. It will take constant, tenacious reorientation of our minds for our youth to come to that understanding of what we're saying today. Now, just like, I want to say this again, the political system has so infiltrated even the pressure groups. So you end up seeing people coming to tell you about their pressure group just because they want you to vote for them or vote for their person. Now, in as much as you may not like this present government, the Tinubu-led government, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying it, literally.
In retrospect.
In retrospect, if the Minister of Information, the little things I've been privy to here, seriously, the little things, improvement I have been privy to hear, as compared to the same thing I heard during the Buhari period. That's what gives me the mind. I say, oh, I think this man, if we give him maybe another 4 years, he will do something because of the knowledge I have gathered. So, interest group should be able to give people information, accurate and concise information, devoid of political affiliation. Of course, we are all political animals. There must always be that convergence where we think of, oh, we need to vote for this. But tell me the reason. That's why the American people, the Republicans and the Democrats,
yeah.
You might not like Trump, but he's giving you reasons why you should vote him. Whether you're from the Republicans or you, they bring salient reasons. He's telling you that if these people continue to infiltrate our border, even you will not have a future for tomorrow. Even the Democrats will say, nah, even though I love the Democrats, but
Go for,
for this one, let me vote. Are you getting? It's ideology. So the ideology should be driven. You should not bring organizations or what they call it, pressure group. The Tinubu is bad. Tinubu must go. Showore is bad. Showore must go. That's not ideology. Ideology is, see, our GDP was like this, and from projection, if we continue in the next 6 years, we can get this, and it will cascade to the economy. Okay, can you inform the people what it was with independent, assessment, not the padding, you are padding, but independent one, so people will be aware. True, we are not where we are or we used to be, but we have made, even if it is 1% progress. Okay, this other man, when he was here, what did he do? What is his progress? Okay, that means this one can do, or should we give, that is the liberty you were saying up prior to when we started. And liberty cannot come without having proper knowledge. Now you now know, okay, I should take this decision. No, let me take, okay, for instance, let's assume without conceding that Tinubu in the next 6 years, we are supposed to start seeing the dividends of his economic policies. And somebody has come to tell us, Tinubu must go. Tinubu is a bad man. Tinubu is Jagaban. Tinubu is nonsense. Then, because we are driven by emotions and not knowledge, we agree, yes, after all, I was paying 300 naira from this place to this place, now I'm paying 700 naira. That means Tinubu must go. But without understanding, oh, what was the reason, or what is the reason why it's like this? What can be done? Is it a situation where something is redeemable, or is it something that he has a long-term plan? when all those things are done, I will, as an independent man, with the liberty I have, when I say, okay, let's give him 6 years. And for giving him 6 years, I have to give him 2 tenures. But if I don't want to give him, I say, Oga, from my assessment, you cannot do it even if they give you 10 years. Okay, it's knowledge.
David, still on the youth, I love us to go back before we actually call it a wrap. Interest group. They are there, doing what they can to better the society. How about a place of religious organization? Where did they come in?
You're putting me in a fix.
I'm not putting you in a fix. Charity, charity begins at home. The society has been bastardized. A 13-year-old child have to go buy Post-No. And the pharmacy,
not even Post-No,
or whatever number, you don't even know the number. Then the attendant or the pharmacist in shop will have the audacity to collect money from that child and give that child the poison. I don't want to know the man behind whatever happened. Now, let's take it back to the religious side. Be it the pastors, the imam, what are
the traditional rulers?
How do they nurture what they have?
Now, it's also something very salient, and why I said you were putting me in a fix is because, you see, we're in a country whereby politics has eaten us so much, the bad kind of politics. It has also entered into church, and now normally church leaders, religious leaders, imams, and the African Traditional Society guys are supposed to be telling our people facts and not sentiments. Now, we have a situation in Nigeria, a peculiar one, whereby if this man is from my own area, my ethnic area, or is my member, I will not speak bad about him. So, we hold these religious leaders as next to God. And if these guys start tilting towards this area, it's troublesome. That's why I don't want to talk about them, because over the years, you see, some of them come up with prophecies. This one will lose, this one will do this, and that's not what God called them to be. Now, the best a religious leader should do is, even these facts we are talking about, there's nothing wrong in getting accurate facts about what is happening in government and tell your people that your people have the choice, just like you have your choice to make a decision. You make your decision, but you cannot make that decision without knowledge and information. So the religious leaders should get proper information, cascade it to their people. Don't tell me vote for this, because you have not told me why I should not vote for this person. And if for instance, you're in a church where you have Yorubas, Igbos, Hausas, then because you're from a particular ethnic nationality, you're telling them, I don't want to mention name, you're telling them, like last time, you came out to protest. I want to sound very controversial. You came out to protest because there was a man removed subsidy, a religious leader. You came out to protest. Now there's another thing happening. You're now changing the narrative. That the governors are the chief security officers of the but you didn't remember that whilst you were protesting against insecurity.
Well, you came all out with your numbers.
So you see, you now see the ethnic bias mixed with religion. So for me, religious fathers should just keep silent if they don't have facts. But if they have facts, tell people, this is what is happening. This is what our economy is saying. This is what is happening in the system. Make your choice, but go out to participate. Religious leaders should be pushing for people to go and participate in the electionary process.
Pushing people to be educated, enlightened, ready for
go
opportunity.
Go and get yourself involved. Some of these guys, I remember, these Agbero boys, these boys that stand on the streets, and collect money from bus commuters and all that. Do you know that there's a program they do in this country, in this state? It's always global. They wear that tag. It's by January.
Even the Agberos, of course,
wear it. It is an opportunity. When they wear it, when they come for that your program, when they come for that your church,
sensitize their mindset.
That yes, so the money you are collecting or stealing is not like it's bad. There's a way you can. But see, better get proper information so that you will make that money well and not this peanut. Every man wants to get better. So when I say, so this now, even my pastor they talk this one. Okay, no problem. I will have to make more money. And how do I get it? Through knowledge, through information. through education. With that, if you say it repetitively
Yeah.
to the minds of the guys, with time, they might not take it immediately, but it has entered their mind. Next time you tell them again, this Agbero work will not give you what you need in future. Go get education. The person will go and register for WAEC tomorrow. Go get education. The person will maybe go to open university while hustling.
Or go to adult
Or
school.
go to adult school. So with that, over the years, in the next 5 years, you must have imbibed that thing. And how do you imbibe it? You say, because they respect these men. Of course, men of God, in quote, the people respect them because their words are like law. So by the time they say it, I've seen somebody that will say, nah, because of this man, maybe somebody wore tag. He say, I for deal with you, but now this tag where you wear. Are you getting it? So they respect, yes, as they respect that, leverage on that and change the mindset. But do not be sentimental to tell people that vote for so person. I don't, for me, no pastor, no imam should tell people to vote for anybody. Tell us the fact of what is happening. Tell us, if you want to say about anybody, say about all of them. Then I will now make my choice. Of course, even God that created us said a man is a free moral agent. I should be able to choose and say, this is where I'm going to, and this is where I'm not going to.
It has been established, and our guest, Pius, David Pius, a philosopher, socio-political analyst, has landed today. The pastors, religious leaders, interest groups, each and every one of us will have a part to play. But before we go, Barrister?
Well, I'll say our pastors, spiritual leaders, please, we can do better.
True.
Sensitize the mind of your brethren. Not just collecting tithes, not just paying tithes, building one big castle, building one permanent branch. How about building their mindset? Will it be so bad that someone from your congregation emerge as a governor? Because of what you've been teaching them years. I urge all of us as a religious body, spiritual personnel, please, we can do better, okay? It's high time we take Nigeria to the face. We're really dreaming and clamoring of. Enough of saying this, my members will vote for this and all of that. And you as the youth, the leaders of tomorrow, you're getting older, but yet you're not planning for tomorrow. It's high time we wake up. It's a wake-up call.
Tomorrow is today.
True.
And I have two dreams. One, that one day a woman will become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I can't wait.
Two, that a youth would one day become a youth with no background, but who has been diligent enough to learn the ropes, will become the president. And youths scattered across the different, political positions will occupy key places. And we will represent the interests of the generality of Nigerians. That dream is achievable if all of us collectively put our heads together and do right by each other. Many thanks, philosopher David Pius, for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, my brother Francis. Pleasure is always mine.
And this is where we draw the curtain on CEMTV's Dissect. I'd like to say thank you again to Barrister Christian.
Thank you very much, Francis. Always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure to be welcome into your space. Let's do this again, same time, same station. And follow us across social media platform at CEMTV+. And of course, you can also download our mobile application to stay in touch. From me to you, it's bye for now.